Good morning, students. Our next point of this topic is the types of soils. You have studied major type of Maharashtra on the basis of soils, color, texture, and formation process, thickness of the layer, etc. We can divide the state soil into the five major types. Here given the five major type of the soil. First is the coarse soil, regular black soil, laterite soil, and then alluvial soil or the yellow brown soil. First is the coarse soil. This soil type is the result of the weathering and low rainfalls. This soil can be found the hilltop of the western part of the plateaus. For example, Ajanta, Balaghat, and Mahadev's hills. The proportion of humus is negligible in this soil. Coarse soils is the main type of the soil, and weathering and rainfalls which region there where the this soil is formed because of the weathering and rainfalls. This soil can be found in the hilltop and the western part of the plateau. That means this soil can be found that takes place in the hilltop and western part of the plateaus. Here given the example Ajanta, Balaghat and Mahadev hills. Here the given the example of this. Second type is the regular or black soil. It is found of area medium rainfalls in the valley and alluvial plains river basins. Two type of this soil is found. Dark black soil is found in the western part of Deccan Plateaus, while the medium black soil is found in the eastern part. Vidarbha, though it's the black in color, proportion of organic components is less in the soil. That means here the second type of the soil is the regular or black soil. It is found areas the medium rainfall. That means there where rainfalls is medium at that place. There where the regular black soil is formed. There are two type of the regular or the black soil. Is the first is the dark soil and second is the first two type of this soil are found. Dark black soil is found in the western part. That means the dark soil is found in the western part of Deccan Plateaus, while the medium black soil is second part is the medium black soil is found in the eastern part of the Vidarbha. This is a black in color. Proportion of organic component is less in the soil. That means the medium black soil is found in the western part in that means in the Vidarbha, and though it's black in color, proportion of organic component is comparatively low. Third type is the laterite soil. This type of soil is found in the coastal belt of the Konkan to west of the Sahyadri and the east of the Vidarbha. In areas of very heavy rainfalls, the eroded rocks get washed away the large quantity. As a result, the parent slopes lies bare open. The iron in the rocks react with the oxygen in the air and causes chemical reaction. This gives the reddish orange color to the soil which is the formed. That means the third type of soil is the laterite soil. This type of soil is found in the coastal belt. That means this कुठे found होते coastal belt in a Konkan to the west of the Sahyadri. ती कुठे होते west of सह्याद्रीला होते and in the east of Vidarbha आणि कुठल्या west of Vidarbha in large very heavy rainfalls the eroded rocks get washed away in large quantity. That means heavy rainfalls and the eroded rocks get washed because of the large quantity, and the result the parent rocks lies bare open, and iron in the rocks react with the oxygen. That means at that time the iron who is the reacted with the oxygen, and this give reddish in color, and orange color is soil which is thus formed, and at that time the orange color rocks is formed. Then fourth type, alluvial soil of the coastal strip. The majority of the rivers flowing in the Konkan region are the short and flow with a great speed. That means the major of rivers who is the flowing in the Konkan region at that time. These are the short and the flow great speed. Their alluvial roots by them get deposited at the mouth of the rivers, and at that time the alluviums bring the gets deposited at the mouth of river. The soil is found at the mouth of river in the western coastal strips. आणि जी काही कोकणच्या भागामध्ये बऱ्यापैकी सॉइल फॉर्मेशन कुठं होते, रिव्हरच्या माउथला होते, आणि त्यालाच काय म्हटलं जातं, ॲल्युअल सॉइल्स. अँड फॉर एक्झाम्पल एरिया अराउंड द पनवेल अर्बन coast and the Dharmatar creeks, etc. Here given the example of these soils. Yellow brown soils. Fifth type of the soil is the yellow brown soils. These soil are formed in the areas of extreme rainfalls. Extreme means more. That means there where the rainfalls is more. They are not very fertile. That means this soil is very fertile, not because of the more rainfalls. They are not very used for agriculture. That means this soil is not useful for the agriculture. They are mainly found in the Chandrapur eastern part of Bandra and the part of Sahyadri mountain. That means here the given the example of the yellow brown soil is the Chandrapur eastern part of Bandra and part of the Sahyadri mountain. Next part is the soil erosions and degradation. The layer of soil, that means top of layer soils get removed due to wind or water. That means the soil get eroded. Running water, climate and diversity of physiography are reason of soil erosions. That means because of the soil get रिमूव्ह ड्यू टू वाइंड और वॉटर आणि ह्याच्यामुळं काय होते, सॉईल रिमूव्ह होते किंवा जी काही सॉईल आहे ती निघून जाते. अँड दिस मीन्स द सॉईल गेट इरोडेड, आणि त्यालाच आपण काय म्हटलं, सॉईलचं इरोजन झालं असं म्हणतो. रनिंग वॉटर, क्लायमेट डायव्हर्सिटी, फिजिओग्राफी आर रिझन ऑफ द सॉईल इरोजन. व्हॉट इज द फॅक्टर्स responsible for the soil erosion? The running water, climate and diversity. This soil quality may get lowered due to certain reason. This is called the degradation of soil. That means at that the quality may be get lowered. The soil quality is lowered because of the soil erosion, and this is also known as the degradation of the soil. The obtained higher agricultural yield, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, weedicides, etc. used, the excessive spraying of chemicals and use of the chemical fertilizers leads to the soil degradation. Which reasons are responsible for the soil degradations? The higher agriculture yield, chemical fertilizer, insecticides, weedicides are the factors who, because of these, the soil degradation takes place. The excessive irrigations draw the salt from the soil upward and make the soil saline and then unproductive. That means excessive irrigations draw the salt from the soil upgrade and make the soil saline. म्हणजेच काय होतं, आपण जी काय जमिनीला काय म्हणतात, खारी जमीन म्हटलं जातं की नाही, त्या पद्धतीनं काय होतं, एक्सपेन्सिव्ह इरिगेशन्स ड्रॉ द साल्ट फ्रॉम द, म्हणजे आपण जास्त पाण्यामुळे काय होतं तर ते जमीन साल्टी होते, अँड सॉइल सलाइन अँड अप्रोडक्ट, आणि ती जमीन कशी होते, अनप्रोडक्टिव्ह होते. ड्यू टू द एक्सेसिव्ह यूज ऑफ केमिकल देअर रेसिड्यूज remains in the soil for many years. They become a threat to the existence of microorganisms. The soils, it is leads to lowering of the human content in the soil, and the plants do not get micronutrient. If pH of the soil thus get distributed, it is a sign of the soil degradation. They become, here given the they become a threat to the existence of microorganism in the soil. They leads to lowering of the humus content. That means at that time the humus content is less, and soil content in the soil, and the plants do not get micronutrients. If the pH is soil thus get distributed, it is a sign of the soil degradation. That means soil degradation measured in the pH. Then last point is the soil conservation. Considering the importance of the soil, it is necessary to conserve it. It is necessary to produce a fertile soil of the farmlands from getting washed out due to the rain. Soil conservation includes the work like construction of embankment and the planting trees of them, constructing of gully plugs against the steep slope, etc. Such work are taken up to the Department of Soil Conservation. That means soil conservation is also important for the soil. It is a necessary conserve it, necessary protect the fertile soil and farmland from the getting washed due to the rain. That means soil conservation is important for the protect the fertile soil and farmlands getting washed because of the rains. And soil conservation included the work like construction of embankment, planting trees, then construction of gully plugs against the steep slope. That means आपण म्हणतो ना प्लांटिंग करणं महत्त्वाचं आहे कशासाठी सॉइल कन्झर्वेशनसाठी. परत काय महत्त्वाचं आहे construction of the embankment, planting trees on them, construction gully plugs and the steep slopes. Planting trees can be also control the velocity of winds. That means planting of the trees so important for the soil conservation because this control the or the this plants is control the velocity of the winds. This help reducing the erosion soil by winds, and this winds who is this is planting of the tree which is reducing erosion of the soils. The plant roots hold the soil and this also reduces the erosion of the soil, and the plant roots hold the soil and this also reduce the erosion of soil. Under the soil conservation, the continuous counter trenches CCTS are the constructed along the slope. That means trenches are the so important for the construction along the slope for the soil conservation. Construction of the such trenches different height check the velocity of water running along the slope and hence reduce soil erosion. That means this is the trenches which is helps the counting the water velocity of the water runnings and they control the soil erosion. This water arrested these trenches percolates into the ground. The government of Maharashtra has implemented the watersheds catchment areas the development program under the constructing embankment along the slope of the rural areas. That means the government who was that means government of Maharashtra who was implemented the watershed catchment areas developed program. That means the government of Maharashtra developed the program of catchment areas which constructing embankment along the slope. Introduction CCTS along the steep slope are undertaken. That means CCTS along the steep are the undertaken. This leads to success of scheme arrest water let us the percolates. That means the success of this program is the arrest water lets the percolates. This has resulting in the rising the groundwater level and reducing the erosion of the soil. That means this because of this program the groundwater level is rising the groundwater levels and reducing the erosion of soil. Recently, the government has launched the scheme called as a Jal Yukta Shivar. That means government who was launched the new scheme is called as a Jal Yukta Shivar. You know about this scheme Jal Yukta Shivar. Under this scheme, work like construction of farm ponds, arrested water, small stream, connecting the streams, etc. being carried out the larger scale. The government who was launched the scheme the Jaliyukt Shivar, and from under this scheme the government who was work like construction of the farm birds, arresting water, small streams and connecting streams. It is advisable to reduce the excessive use of the chemical fertilizers and pesticide. If organic manures, vermicompost, compost are used regularly, it is help to maintain pH. That means man who will be used for less use of the chemical fertilizer and pesticide, और आपण म्हणतो की नाही कमी प्रमाणात त्यांनी काय केलं पाहिजे, केमिकल फर्टिलायझर किंवा पेस्टिसाइडचा यूज केला पाहिजे. यूज ऑर्गॅनिक मॅन्युअर्स, वर्मी कंपोस्ट आर युज्ड रेग्युलरली. इट्स हेल्प्स मेंटेन टू pH बॅलन्स. आणि तो काय करतो, त्यांनी जास्त काय वापरलं पाहिजे, वर्मी कंपोस्ट आणि कंपोस्टचा यूज केला पाहिजे आणि त्याच्यामुळे काय मेंटेन होऊ शकतं, pH मेंटेन होऊ शकतो. दे इन्क्रीज द प्रपोर्शन ऑफ द ह्युमस अँड proportion of the humus, that means they increase the proportion of humus and retain the fertility of the soil, and this maintain the fertility of soil. Keeping the farmlands fallow for the summer period and cultivating different crops alternately is important in the help of certain fertility of the soil. That means keeping the farmlands followed from some period and cultivating different crops alternatively is important to help retain the fertility of the soil. Here the our topic is a finish. Here given the diagram of CCT, then here given the afforestations, here given the CCT and counter building. Thank you.